Good morning children, I am Poonam Bagga, continuing with chapter 1 rational numbers. In our previous class, we had done some questions from exercise 1.1, question number 1 to 5, and today we will be completing that exercise and then we will be discussing the representation of rational numbers on a number line. To begin with, we have question number 6 from exercise 1.1. Multiply 6 upon 13 by the reciprocal of minus 7 by 16. So first we need to find out the reciprocal of minus 7 by 16. Let us write it. Reciprocal of minus 7 by 16 is what? You all know by reciprocal we mean the interchanging of the numerator and the denominator. So the reciprocal will be minus 16 upon 7. Now we have to multiply this 6 by 13 to this minus 16 upon 7. So we can write required product. By product we mean the answer that we get on multiplication, that is called product. Required product is 6 by 13 into minus 16 upon 7. Let us check whether the numbers are being cancelled in the numerator and denominator. You will find that there are no such numbers. So we can simply multiply them. 6 into 16 will be 96 and 13 sevens is 91. This is the answer. So simple. Just find the reciprocal and then multiply. You will get the answers. Next one is, tell what property allows you to compute 1 by 3 into 6 into 4 by 3 as 1 by 3 into 6 again into 4 by 3. The difference between the two is the pairing up of the numbers. Here 6 and 4 by 3 have been paired first and then 1 by 3 has been multiplied, and in this case 1 by 3 and 6 have been paired up first and then 4 by 3 has been multiplied. Which property is this? Obviously the property of associativity. So we can write associative law or associativity property of multiplication. This is the law or property that has been used here to equate both the results. Next we move on to, is 8 by 9 the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 8? Why or why not? Inverse. What do you mean by inverse? Opposites of each other. और opposites क्या करते हैं? एक दूसरे से लड़के और कैंसिल कर देते हैं एक दूसरे को. तो ये दोनों एक दूसरे के inverse होंगे. Both these numbers will be the inverse of each other if they both cancel each other. By doing what operation? Multiplication. So let us first multiply both of these. If we get the multiplicative identity 1, then they will be inverse of each other, otherwise not. So let us multiply 8 by 9 into minus 1 by 8. This will give us 8 by 9 into, we will have to simplify it. We will have to, this is a mixed fraction, we will have to convert it into a simple fraction. How do we do so? Multiply these two and then add this one. 8 ones are 8 plus 1, it will be 9. 8 ones are 8 plus 1, we get 9 in the numerator and this 8 will be in the denominator. The denominator remains the same, and since it is minus, so we will put a minus sign here. Now cancel each other. 9 ones are 9, 9 ones are 9, 8 ones are 8, 8 ones are 8. What we are left with is minus 1. So are we getting the multiplicative identity here? No, we are not getting the multiplicative identity. Though they both are cancelling each other, but still we are not getting the multiplicative identity. So they both are not the multiplicative inverse of each other. So we can give the result, no, 8 by 9 is not the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 8. This is the answer. We are not getting the multiplicative identity. Yeah, here you can write not equal to multiplicative, you can complete the word identity. Write it in the bracket that it is not equal to multiplicative identity. Therefore, no, 8 by 9 is not the multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 8. Clear? Next again we have the similar question. Is 0.3 the multiplicative inverse of 3 1 by 3? Why or why not? Again we will multiply both of them, and if we get the multiplicative identity 1, then they both will be inverse of each other, otherwise not. Let us multiply 0.3 into 3 1 by 3. We will have to simplify both of them. This 0.3, we can remove the decimal and bring one 0 down. We can remove it and we can write it as 10. We can remove it and bring one 0 with 1, 10. So 3 by 10 into, simplify the mixed fraction, 3 3s are 9 plus 1 is 10 upon 3. Then after cancellation, what are we getting? Obviously 1. This 10 will be cancelled by 10. 10 ones are 10, 10 ones are 10, 3 ones are 3, 3 ones are 3. Remember, we can cut the numbers only in the numerator and denominator. Then we get 1. Is it the multiplicative identity? Yes, this is equal to multiplicative identity. Therefore, yes, 0.3 is the multiplicative inverse of 3 1 by 3. So the answer is yes. Simple है. Just multiply both the numbers. If we get multiplicative identity, then it is the multiplicative inverse. They both are multiplicative inverse of each other, and if we don't get one, then they are not. Next we move on to the next question. Write the rational number that does not have a reciprocal. While we were discussing the reciprocals, I had told you which number does not have a reciprocal. Yes, it is 0. How? Consider it. This is 0. We can write it as 0 upon 1. When we do the reciprocal, we will get 1 upon 0. But this is not defined. So, the rational number that does not have a reciprocal is 0. Clear? Next is the rational numbers that are equal to their reciprocals. We can take 1. Consider this number 1. What will be its reciprocal? We will write it 1 upon 1. And now if we take the reciprocal, it will be again 1 upon 1. If we exchange the numerator and denominator, again we are getting back 1 upon 1. So 1 is the number whose reciprocal is itself 1. One more number is there. Consider minus 1. It can be written as minus 1 upon 1. Now take its reciprocal, interchange the numerator and denominator, again it will be minus 1. So the rational numbers that are equal to their reciprocals are 1 and minus 1. They both are the rational numbers whose reciprocal are equal to them. Next is the rational number that is equal to its negative. Which rational number is equal to its negative? It is 0, because we haven't heard or we cannot define 0 as positive 0 or negative 0. 0 is itself 0. There is no such positive or negative 0. So the rational number that is equal to its negative is 0 itself. Next we move on to question number 11. You will have to fill in the blanks. Filling up the blanks is very interesting. I also like such type of questions. 0 has dash reciprocal. Just now we studied 0 has no reciprocal, because if we will take the reciprocal of 0, it is 0 upon 1. On taking the reciprocal, it is 1 upon 0, and 1 by 0 is not defined because the denominator cannot be 0. So 0 has no reciprocal. The numbers dash and dash are their own reciprocals. Again the repetition. Tell me which two numbers are they? Yes, 1 and minus 1. They are the numbers who are their own reciprocals. We have just learnt it in our previous slide. Now the reciprocal of minus 5. Minus 5 can be taken as minus 5 upon 1. So its reciprocal. Interchange the numerator and denominator. It will be 1 upon 5 with minus sign. Easy. Next, reciprocal of 1 upon x, where x is not equal to 0. What will be the reciprocal? Interchange the numerator and denominator. It will be x upon 1, which is equal to again x, because the division by 1 does not change the value. So x upon 1 can be written as x. So your answer can be simply x. No need to write x upon 1. It is just for understanding. Your answer will be x. Next, the product of two rational numbers is always a dash. Do you remember the property of closure, which said that multiplying two rational numbers, the answer that we get is again a rational number, or multiplication is closed for rational numbers. So the product of two rational numbers is always a rational number by closure property. Okay. The reciprocal of a positive rational number is positive. Reciprocal of a positive will be positive, and of negative will be negative. You can take the case, take 2 by 3. It is a positive number. Take the reciprocal, it will be 3 by 2. So both are positive. The reciprocal of a positive rational number is positive. With this, your exercise 1.1 is complete. I hope you are clear with all the questions. Still, if you have any doubt, you can pause the video or rewind the video and watch it again. Next, we move on to the topic of representation of rational numbers on a number line. We begin with simple numbers, natural numbers. We represent natural numbers on a number line. We can represent it in this way. Natural numbers begin from 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. The line goes on in the right direction. It keeps on extending indefinitely in the right direction because the numbers have no end. But it starts from 1. Next we move on to the whole numbers. Whole numbers start from 0 and again it moves on in the right direction indefinitely. Then we move on to integers. Integers include the negative numbers as well as 0 and then positive numbers. The positive numbers are to the right side of 0 and negative numbers are to the left side of 0, and 0 acts as a origin in between. You may think that where these number lines are actually being used in our daily life. Here is one such example. Here this is one picture of a road lane, street lane, besides which some houses have been built. Let us give them some address. This is house number A. This is, let it be here, A house. This is house number B, house number C. This is house number D. and this is your clock tower, and this is the lamp post. Lamp post. I am just giving an example to visualize the number line in our daily lives, and this is your clock tower. Now you meet many people who may ask you the address of some location or some house or some person. Then how can you explain? If we take this lamp post as the origin 0 and you are asked, please tell me the address of house B, then what will you say? Second house from the origin lamp post. This is first house, this is second. So actually what are you telling? You are telling it according to a number line. Second house from the lamp post. We are taking the lamp post as the origin. Now if I take this clock tower as the origin, let us take this as the origin. Let me change the color. If I take this as the origin now, and now if you are asked the house location of B, what will you say? It is to the left of the origin, so now its location will be -2, -1, and this is -2, and the location of D will be now +1. So actually we are using a number line in this way to tell the location of a house. Similarly, when you all stand according to your roll numbers in a line in your school, it is again an example of a number line. So in this way you can understand number line better. One thing more I would like to tell you. When you all are asked to draw a number line in a copy, many of you draw it in this way. You take it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Many of you draw it in this way. This is absolutely wrong. Why wrong? Because you are not maintaining a proper distance between each unit. This is one single unit, one unit, again one unit, again one single unit. You see, all the units should be placed at equal distances, and whenever you draw a number line in this way, it is absolutely wrong. So please focus while drawing in your copies that whenever you draw, the distance between each two consecutive numbers remains the same. Clear? Next we move on to representation of rational numbers on number line. First example we are taking is 1/2. Don't get frightened, it is very easy and very interesting. First of all, look at the denominator. The denominator shows the number of parts into which one unit has to be divided. Denominator shows the number of parts in which single unit is divided. What does this mean? Single unit is 0 to 1, between 0 to 1. We have to divide in this case into two equal parts. The division should be equal. Let us mark 0 here and 1 here. Now 2 means that this single unit, this one unit should be divided into two equal parts. To divide it into two, we can mark one point in the center, just in the center. This is just in the center. So this is the point 1/2. This particular point, it is the point 1/2. Again we move on to 1/3. Think of the denominator now, 3. This means now we have to divide one single unit into 3 parts. And what is the one single unit? 0 to 1. Now again we mark it 0 and we mark 1 here, and now we have to divide it into 3. To divide into 3, we need to point 2 marks in between, one less than the number. 3 points, 3 डिविजन करने हैं तो 3 से एक कम 2 पॉइंट्स लगाएंगे हम बीच में. जितने पार्ट्स करने हैं, जैसे यहाँ 4 पार्ट्स करने हैं तो 4 से एक कम 3 पॉइंट्स लगाएंगे हम बीच में. The number which is in the denominator, we will mark one less than that points between one single unit between 0 and 1 at equal distances. Let us take this and this. We have taken 2 points. Now this will be 1 upon 3 and this will be 2 upon 3 because we are taking the same distance 2 times. So 2 by 3. And what will it be? It will be 3 upon 3 and 3 by 3 will get cancelled. So that is why it becomes 1. So 1 upon 3, 2 upon 3. So it is clear? The number in the denominator, we have to divide one unit between 0 and 1 in the number that is given in the denominator. How we will divide it into 4 parts? By marking how many points in between? 3 points, one less than the denominator. We can mark this also, take 0 here and 1 here. Now we have to divide into 4, so we will mark 3 points at equal distances. 1, 1, 2 and 3. It will be 1 by 4. If you are asked to mark 2 by 4, then it will be 2 by 4. If you are asked to mark 3 by 4, it will be 3 by 4. And then this is 4 upon 4. Cancelling 4 by 4, we will get this 1 here. In this way, we have marked 1 by 4 here. 1 by 3 this is and 1 by 2 is here. What is the exact point location of these numbers? Let me change the color, then it will be clear. This particular point is the location of 1 by 2. This particular point is the location of 1 by 3 and this particular point is the location of 1 by 4. This one. Clear? We move on to some more examples, then the concept will be much more clear. Now the numerator has changed, but the denominator is 8. This means that we have to divide one single unit into how many parts? 8 parts. We have to divide the distance between 0 and 1 into 8 parts. And to divide it into 8 parts, how many points do we have to mark it? 7 points, one less than this number. So we will have to mark 7 points between 0 and 1. Let it be 0 and let it be 1. 1 I write it on the top. So 8 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. I have taken 7 points and you see all of them are at equal distances. Now 5 by 8. Which one will be the 5 by 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is 5 by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This particular point. And what is this? 1 by 8, 2 by 8, 3 by 8, 4 by 8, 5 by 8, 6 by 8, 7 by 8 and this is again 8 upon 8. 8 by 8 get cancelled. We are left with 1. So it is very easy. Now you may find it difficult to mark 7 points in between with equal distance. Children do feel it difficult to mark equal points in between. So one easy way is to do, let us think here, the denominator is 11 and now we will have to divide 0 to 1 into 11 parts by marking 10 points in between. That becomes very difficult. So we can follow this process also. Let it be. Now one thing more, it is a negative number. So it will be to the left of 0, not to the right of 0. So we will have to take 0 to the right side and now we will keep on marking 1 by 11, 2 by 11 and we will reach 7 by 11. See here. But remember to mark at equal distances. It will be minus 1 upon 11, then minus 2 upon 11, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. This is minus 7 upon 11, minus 8, minus 9, minus 10, and then when you move it ahead, minus 11 upon 11. This will give me minus 1. Here, what we have done, we have taken to the left, and instead of first marking 0 and minus 1, I have taken at equal distances all the points. पहले माइनस 1 अपॉन 11 मार्क किया, फिर माइनस 2 बाई 11, माइनस 3, माइनस 4, माइनस 5, माइनस 6. This is minus 7 upon 11 which is being asked here. Then minus 8 upon 11, minus 9 by 11, minus 10 by 11, and in the last minus 11 upon 11. Cut the 11, you will get minus 1. So we have divided 0 to minus 1 between 11 parts by marking 10 points in between. You can follow this method also. Next is minus 5 upon 3. The denominator shows 3, that is 1 unit has to be divided into 3 parts, and since it is negative, again it will be to the left of 0. So we take 0 somewhere here. Let us mark minus 1 upon 3, minus 2 upon 3, minus 3 upon 3. This is minus 3 upon 3 which is equal to minus 1. Then minus 4 upon 3, minus 5 upon 3. This is minus 5 upon 3, and then minus 6 upon 3. Cut the 6, you will get minus 2. So this number minus 5 upon 3 lies between minus 1 and minus 2. I hope this is clear. Once again, we started from 0 to the left because the number is negative. This is minus 1 upon 3, minus 2 upon 3, minus 3 upon 3, minus 4 upon 3, and minus 5 upon 3. Then minus 6 upon 3. Minus 3 upon 3 is minus 1, minus 6 upon 3 is minus 2. So this number lies between minus 1 and minus 2. All the other numbers that we have discussed earlier, they were between 0 and 1 or 0 and minus 1. This is between minus 1 and minus 2. Next we will take 7 upon 4. Since the number is positive, so it will lie to the right of 0. So we will have to take 0 to the left. Then we will keep on marking 1 by 4 and so on. 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, then 4 upon 4. This 4 by 4 will be equal to 1 here. Next we will reach 5 upon 4, 6 upon 4, this is 7 by 4, and this is 8 upon 4. 8 upon 4, cancel it by 4, you will get 2. So this is the point 7 upon 4, and which is the exact location? This point on the number line. This is the exact location of 7 upon 4. So to simplify, just look at the denominator and start proceeding 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4 and so on. You will reach the result. And if it is a negative number, move to the left. It is a positive number, move to the right. I hope this is clear to you. It is very interesting. You can practice much more by taking some rational numbers on your own. Try to make them. You will find it very nice. In our next video, we will be taking the rational numbers between two rational numbers. And in this video, we completed exercise 1.1 and representation of rational numbers on the number line. Hope this is all clear to you. Keep practicing, keep watching. Thank you.